Hello. Is it starting or not? I don't know. Okay. Hello. This is Taylor Elwood with Magical Experiments, and tonight I am answering the question: should we do magic to combat the coronavirus? Should we do magic against the coronavirus? And you might be wondering, why am I even answering that question? And there's a couple reasons for it. Um, Earlier this week, I posted a couple of coronavirus entities that you could work with. Like a coronavirus an entity that would help inspire the coronavirus vaccine, and anti-coronavirus entity. And I shared them on my e-list, and one of the people wrote back and said, "Do you really think we should be doing magic against the coronavirus? Because isn't this possibly Mother Earth's response to us? Should we really be trying to go against, Mother Earth?" And then later on, I saw a snarky comment. It was in relationship to something else, but it was someone who was basically saying, "Oh, yeah, and there's already occult authors sharing how they've cured the coronavirus." And so I saw both of these responses, and I thought, you know what? I need to respond to both of them. One thing I want to make very clear: I never make any guarantees with my magical work, with something like, certainly with something like this. Like I have with the, if you go and you click on the entities, one of the first paragraphs you'll see is no guarantees are made. You still need to make all the quarantine precautions, everything else. And so you might wonder, well, okay, why are you even putting those disclaimers in? And the reason why is because I'm not one who's going to sell you a line of BS, okay? That's just not who I am. I'm very straightforward, and I don't pull any punches when it comes to magic. Some people find that frustrating, but I'm just not that kind of person. And so if I share something, I'll tell you what it can do and how it can work, but I'll also put the disclaimers in place. Nowhere have I said, for example, that I have a cure for the coronavirus. I don't. I have some stuff that I've put together magically that may help with it. And note that word may. I've purposely included that there. And the reason I've done that is because, I can't, as of yet, I mean, this is an untested environment for one thing. I can't guarantee something, with something that I've created for something along those lines. And it would be irresponsible for me to do that. And the reason I make that point is because I think that, as those of us who choose to try and do something about this magically, to help out, in the fight against this virus, we really do have to make sure that we aren't trying to sell people on something, but that instead we're really acknowledging, what we've done or what we can do, and at the same time acknowledging what the limitations may end up being. And so that's a promise that I've always tried to make to in my books and everything else, is that, I will never sell you a line of BS, that I will never tell you something that isn't true, but that instead I'll just genuinely be honest with you and tell you, this is what I can do. This is what may work, this is what may not, this is what I think won't work based on what my experiences are. And of course, as always, I say challenge what I share with you. I mean, find out for yourself. But in the case of like the coronavirus entities that I've created, I'm not going to tell you, "Oh, go out there and try and get infected just to see if it works." That'd be stupid. Like, really, wash your hands, do all the precautionary measures that you should be taking right now. You know, don't go out into don't go out on frivolous errands. If you have to go out, go to the grocery store, or if you're working at an essential place of work, thank you very much for your service, we really appreciate you. But don't do anything you shouldn't be doing just because you want to try and test something. I mean, let's be realistic here. I put those entities together as a response, as a way to empower people, and really as a way to essentially share what it is that we're, what something that might be helpful. Like if and a way to an additional resource that, if nothing else, will at least give you something to work with. So now let's address those two things that I talked about. Well, let's talk first about the snarky comments. I've kind of already addressed those, but I want to say to that people who go and make a snarky comment in regards to the efforts that other people are making, the one thing that stands out to me is how apathetic and pathetic they are. Because it's very easy to sit on the sidelines and comment on something, but if you're not actually trying to do something about it, you really have no legs to stand on. The fact of the matter is, we shouldn't just stand on the sideline. We should do whatever we can do, in this situation. It behooves us to do our part. And I'm not just talking about magically, because certainly magic plays a role in this, but also in terms of our mundane actions. Whether that's obeying the shelter in place, laws that have been enacted, or whether it's just making sure that you help out your community in some form or manner because you know that people need help right now. Whatever it is that you're doing, let's actually be a resource and a solution and help people out instead of just making snarky comments. It's easy to make snarky comments. It isn't very helpful, though. In regards to the person who said, well, should we even do any magic? What if this is Mother Earth's punishment? Here's my response to that. Maybe this is Mother Earth's punishment. Maybe more than likely, this is a result of the fact that, we as humans have created an imbalance on this planet in terms of how we've affected other species, in terms of the global warming and all that other stuff. I'm not going to deny it. And this very well may be a consequence as a result that we have to deal with. Does that mean we should just take it lying down? Does that mean that we should just say, yeah, whatever, you just got to do what you do? I personally don't believe we should do that. I think that if anything, we need to really we have to do what it is we need to do. Now, if you feel like, this is something that you shouldn't do magic against, then fair enough. I mean, that's your call. I'm not going to tell you that you should do it, but I'll tell you that my response really boils down to this. I at the end of the day, I'm not going to just passively sit there and not try and do something. I want to survive. I want to do more than survive. I want to live. And the fact of the matter is, that's not going to happen if we're just willing to passively sit there and expect something to occur. Well, I'm just going to passively be there and let it happen to me. Forget that. That's certainly not something that I'm going to do. I'm going to do magical workings toward trying to resolve this situation, just like I would in any other circumstance where I'm fighting for my survival. Should I try and learn some lessons from all of this? All of us should. Should it stand out to us that, for example, the level of pollution has gone down in the world because things have been shut down? Yeah, that stands out to me. Should we try and reach across the partisan divide, at least in the US, and try and work with people? Yeah, unless of course they're being foolish and thinking they should go back to work by Easter. But we need to do our part. We need to pull together as a community. And part of that is magical action. Part of that is doing magical work. Part of that is doing what you can on your end to make an offering toward trying to do something about this situation. And some people might say, well, that's all great and well, but what if it doesn't really do anything? Okay, maybe it doesn't do anything. Maybe the only thing it does ultimately is make, in this one instance, me feel, for example, somewhat useful because I've tried to do something about it. That is still better than just passively waiting for something to happen. The fact of the matter is, we have choices here. We can either passively await something happening to us, or we can actually take action and do something about it. In my case, I've chosen to take action. I've chosen to create some magical entities. I've chosen to share a ritual that I've developed. And I'm going to continue taking other actions. I'm going to continue brainstorming in the Magical Experiments group because at the end of the day, I want to live. And I assume that any of you who are actively working on this want to as well. And those of you who say, well, this is possibly a punishment, may also want to live. But when you're just kind of passively accepting it, I hate to break it to you, that is not a good sign. Let's learn our lessons from the coronavirus. Let's carry those lessons forward, but also let one of those lessons be that we're not the resilience of the human spirit, the drive to survive, the drive to thrive, but perhaps do it in a better manner than we've done previously. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I wanted to share that with you guys. Agree or disagree, feel free to comment, and stay healthy, stay safe, do what you can, and most of all, take care of each other. All right, talk to you guys next week.